What began as whispers about questionable officiating has now spiraled into full-blown allegations of corruption at the very top of the league. A leaked audio recording released this past Saturday has sent shockwaves through the basketball world, suggesting that the WNBA's problems with poor officiating may not be incompetence at all, but part of a deeply rooted system of manipulation. The recording reportedly ties a roster of referees to secret paychecks, off-book bonuses, and even travel perks, all connected back to none other than WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. These are not small accusations. They strike directly at the heart of the league's integrity, raising questions about whether the outcomes of some of the most high-stakes games were ever genuine in the first place. The controversy has taken on an even sharper edge because of one name, Caitlin Clark. Ever since the former Iowa superstar stepped into the WNBA, she's brought record-breaking audiences and unprecedented attention to the sport. Yet, instead of being celebrated, she's become the center of controversy, targeted on the court, battered by hard fouls, and seemingly ignored by referees when she's fouled herself. It's almost as if the very league that should be protecting its most valuable player is allowing her to be punished. Some fans have even gone as far as to call it sabotage. And when you look closely, it's hard to argue otherwise. Take, for instance, the Fever versus Liberty game. With just 2 seconds left, the Fever were trailing by 2 points and had one last chance to pull off a miracle. Sophie Cunningham inbounded the ball perfectly to Clark, who was poised to make the shot that could have tied or even won the game. But before she could release it, she was blatantly stripped of the ball with clear contact. The entire arena saw it. Every replay confirmed it. Yet the whistle never came. No foul was called. The game ended with a 90-88 Liberty victory, and the officials walked off the court as if nothing had happened. That wasn't just a missed call. It felt like a message. When the game's biggest star can be tackled in the final second without a whistle, fans start to wonder whether the result was already written before the clock ran out. This isn't an isolated incident either. The pattern has been building all season. In game after game, Clark has faced aggressive defenses that cross the line into physical assaults. In one playoff matchup against the Connecticut Sun, she was thrown off balance on a three-point attempt by DeWanna Bonner, a clear foul by any standard. Clark looked immediately to the officials, expecting the call, but they turned away. Play continued. The silence of the whistle spoke louder than any call could have. A similar story unfolded against the Seattle Storm, where Clark was knocked off balance multiple times, body-checked on screens, and roughed up while driving to the basket. The officials didn't even blink. To the fans watching, it felt less like a competitive match and more like a setup designed to wear her down. So, the question arises, why? Why would the WNBA, a league desperate for attention and success, allow its most marketable player to be treated this way? Some believe the answer lies in favoritism, and at the center of that theory stands Las Vegas Aces superstar A'ja Wilson. To many, Wilson appears to be the league's chosen face, the queen being carefully crafted by league narratives and officiating alike. In their last matchup, Wilson shot 13 free throws, nearly matching the entire Indiana Fever team. Every time the Fever gained momentum, a perfectly timed whistle would stop them cold. It wasn't just coincidence. It looked orchestrated. Fans couldn't help but feel that the league was desperately trying to manufacture a hero while suppressing the one the fans had already chosen. The numbers don't lie either. When Wilson plays, even in primetime matchups, WNBA viewership barely scrapes 6 figures. One recent game between the Aces and the Connecticut Sun drew just 100,000 viewers. But when Caitlin Clark steps on the court, the story changes completely. Her lowest-rated game this season still drew 580,000 viewers, nearly 6 times higher than the league's official star. The contrast is staggering. The fans have spoken loud and clear, yet the league continues to ignore them. Even coaches are starting to lose patience. Fever head coach Stephanie White couldn't stay silent any longer. After one particularly lopsided game, she called out the officiating for what it was. "I thought she got fouled," White said bluntly in a post-game interview. "I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A -31 free throw discrepancy, and I might understand that if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim. The disrespect right now for our team has been unbelievable." When a coach has to openly challenge the referees and question the league's fairness, it shows just how deep the frustration runs. But maybe this isn't just about favoritism. It could be something much bigger. Some fans and insiders have started connecting the dots to sports betting. With the rise of legal betting across the country, even the smallest call or lack of one can swing hundreds of thousands of dollars. A single missed foul, a questionable turnover, or a last-second shot can completely alter the outcome of a bet. There's already precedent for this kind of corruption. Former NBA referee Tim Donaghy was sentenced to 15 months in prison for betting on games he officiated, providing insider picks and influencing calls to affect spreads. Donaghy claimed he never fixed games, but evidence suggested otherwise. His co-conspirators placed most of their bets on games he officiated, and they won almost every time. If it could happen in the NBA, a billion-dollar machine with strict oversight, what's to stop it from happening in the WNBA? A smaller league with less scrutiny but growing betting interest. That's what makes the recent allegations so dangerous. If fans stop believing in the integrity of the game, the entire league is at risk. The WNBA is just beginning to step into the global spotlight. Caitlin Clark's arrival brought in new fans, fresh sponsors, and massive media attention. But all of that could collapse overnight if people start to believe the outcomes are rigged. Already the league's leadership, especially Commissioner Engelbert, has been eerily silent. If these allegations are false, why hasn't she come forward to deny them? Why hasn't the league taken clear public steps to address the accusations? Silence only fuels suspicion, and at this point, the damage is spreading fast. Some fans have begun calling for Engelbert's resignation, arguing that the league needs new leadership before it completely loses credibility. Others are demanding that the NBA step in and take control of WNBA operations under Commissioner Adam Silver. They believe only the NBA's structure, accountability, and transparency can clean up the mess. It might sound extreme, but after weeks of no response from the WNBA, even drastic solutions are starting to sound reasonable. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark or one team's frustration. This is about the survival of the league. Every sport relies on trust, the belief that what fans are watching is fair, that every whistle is earned, and that the best player on the court decides the outcome, not someone behind a desk or in a referee's pocket. Once that trust is broken, it's nearly impossible to repair. And for a league still fighting for mainstream legitimacy, the consequences could be devastating. Sponsors don't invest in scandal. Networks don't promote controversy without control. If this storm keeps growing, the WNBA might not just lose fans, it could lose its future. In the end, the question hanging over the league is simple but terrifying. Will the WNBA clean house, or will it crumble under its own silence? Will Caitlin Clark ever get the fair treatment she deserves, or is she destined to be the hero who exposed the league's darkest secret? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, this story isn't over. Not even close. If you've been following this saga and believe the truth needs to come out, drop your thoughts below. Do you think the WNBA is protecting its favorites, or are these just wild conspiracy theories? And most importantly, do you still trust the league? Let's hear your take in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more updates, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single story as this scandal continues to unfold.